standing ovation for the athletes here in Houston as round 2 gets underway. Chandler working off of that jab early. Oh! Knocked down for Oliveira now! Now a knee to the body for Charles on the right hand! Chandler retrieves it! Now Chandler is down!
Charles Oliveira has spent a lot of time climbing up the UFC ladder, and finally he's the undisputed lightweight champion of the world. Oliveira holds the most submission victories in UFC history, so it's easy to see why he makes such a formidable champion. One of those submissions came at UFC 225 when Oliveira faced Clay Guida.
That Guida's dealing with.
Oh, nice knee. Oh, he clipped him with that right hand. There's that guillotine, and Oliveira's guillotine is nasty. What he's great at. It is so nasty. This is terrible.
There's the tap. Charles Oliveira by submission. That's got a familiar tone to it.
It's exactly what we were saying. This guy is terrible to have on his back.
Oliveira made quick work of Guida. After some successful striking, the fight was taken to the ground, and Oliveira finished the American decisively. One of the fights that made our list came from UFC 262 when Charles Oliveira faced Michael Chandler for the lightweight championship belt. Before this matchup, Khabib Nurmagomedov retired and left the lightweight belt vacant. Chandler is one of the UFC's favorite fighters, and he certainly has several knockouts under his belt, but Oliveira knew this was his time. The first round looked scary for Oliveira as Chandler landed some clean strikes and almost got a guillotine choke. But right away in the second round, Oliveira landed a clean punch that knocked Chandler out.
A standing ovation for the athletes here in Houston as round 2 gets underway. Chandler working off of that jab early. Oh! Knocked down for Oliveira now! Now a knee to the body for Charles on the right hand! Chandler retrieves it! Now Chandler is down! Charles Oliveira is the undisputed UFC lightweight champion!
Congratulations!
My goodness!
Wow! Charles Oliveira has done it!
How in the world does it change that fast?
The celebration was almost better than the knockout. As we all know by now, Charles Oliveira is probably at his most dangerous while he's on his back. Somebody should have told Darren Elkins at UFC Live, because in his UFC debut, Oliveira gave us one of the fastest submissions we've ever seen.
Elkins grabs a hold of him. He's got him up and down. Big takedown. But immediately, look how he scrambles to guard. Look at this.
Spectacular jiu-jitsu
Got a triangle.
practitioner.
He's got it locked up, Mike. Right away.
On the back of the head, Joe.
Oliveira turning it into an armbar. He's got a triangle and an armbar combination. Elkins is in all kinds of trouble. Oh, he's done.
All over.
Wow.
It is all over.
The hype is for real.
This set the stage for Oliveira as one of the greatest Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioners in the UFC by far. The submissions just kept coming from there. Speaking of submissions, one of our favorite Oliveira submission victories came at UFC on Fox when he faced Miles Jury. Rear naked chokes are a fairly common way to win in the UFC, but of course, Oliveira makes it look easy. After some tussling on the ground, Jury managed to find a way to stand up, but it was too late.
Rides him out, but now Jury's in a better position because one hook's out, he's almost back up to his feet, but he's got a guillotine here. He's got to make sure that Oliveira doesn't connect his hands together. Oliveira pummeling that right hand under, looking to connect the hands. He's got the hands connected. Now he's hanging on the neck. Jury's in all sorts of trouble.
It's all over. Charles Oliveira by submission.
Oliveira grabbed Jury's neck and hung on him to score a standing guillotine submission victory. One of the biggest and most respected fighters Oliveira has faced so far is none other than Tony Ferguson. Both of these fighters had great ground game and were both eager to leave it all on the mat. Right away, Oliveira landed a nice head kick on Ferguson. The first round ended with Oliveira laying in a deep armbar, but Ferguson managed to hold on until the buzzer sounded.
And just smoothly controlling one of the best grapplers in the sport here. I mean, when we talked about Khabib fighting Tony, the thing that was interesting was Tony fights so well off of his back.
Yep.
Look at what's happening here. Look what's happening here.
Oh, he's got him hurt.
That's in deep.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
He might have broken his arm.
Oh, I couldn't even watch it, Joe. I was looking away.
From there, Oliveira showed complete control over the fight. Oliveira started his UFC journey at 20 years old, and over a decade later, it was clear from this fight he had come into his own. Oliveira came out with a win by unanimous decision, and we can't wait to see him take on Justin Gaethje at UFC 274.